Hokusai influence with this work? I mean, this work is a derivative. It really informed the development of waves and wavy lines in Japanese art and then in European art. And it also influenced composition and design. But how did these ideas get to Europe? For almost 200 years, Japan had been a virtually isolated country, but due to growing pressure from abroad and an overthrow of a regime in its own country, the country started to open up, and in 1858 trade links started to develop between itself and Europe. We've already seen that these new compositions in Japanese woodblock prints were met with disapproval by the art establishment. I mean, it's hard to believe that these were used as wrapping for some of the merchandise sent in this new trade agreement between Japan and Europe, but it happened. All of this visual information flooded to Europe. These prints started to eventually end up in Parisian cafes and therefore into the hands of some of these artists in Europe. And these visual ideas started to develop in European art in two main ways: stylistic line and bold composition. Stylistic line is mainly seen in Art Nouveau, where we see the graphic line in the billowing hair, in the stylized lines of water, in the wavy lines of motifs and more. This graphic line is the rhythm and dynamism in Art Nouveau derived from this Japanese style of art. By 1900, this Japanese aesthetic had spread to all of Europe, not just in Paris. Abstract expressionism, for example, in Munch's The Scream, these wavy lines are informed from this Japanese aesthetic. And the bold composition influenced artists too. I mean, here we can see the cropping of this composition is new for Europe. It inspired them to be bolder and more avant-garde with their compositions. Artists such as Degas, Toulouse-Lautrec like this idea of sort of a window into an everyday scene. Who needed compositions where the whole of the object was in view? Why couldn't you chop off the body in half? Why couldn't you chop the window in half in a composition? And the Japanese colour point influenced these artists as well. They were much more bold, the colour palettes were more minimal.
Hope you liked our video. Like the video, subscribe to our page and spread the word. Thanks.